Okay, now let's talk about something that is one of the basics and one of the most important things that you need to be doing for yourself when you're using intuition and just in everyday life. And this is what I like to call using your GPS. This is talking about energetic and spiritual protection for yourself. This is talking about making sure that you keep yourself an open flowing channel, and you don't get messed up with everybody else's gunk and weighed down with everybody else's gunk. So what is GPS? GPS should be a core practice for you. GPS should be something that you are using every single day and sometimes twice a day. GPS is something that is going to totally support you in your intuitive abilities and your growth of your intuition. And it's going to allow you to move through using your intuitive abilities much smoother and in a much more confident way. And you're not going to get run down, and you're not going to get feeling overwhelmed and all that kind of gucky stuff, right? So GPS is ground, protect, and shield. Ground, protect, and shield. Using your GPS keeps you on your path. That's the way that I like to just kind of say it. It reminds me that it's something I should do every day. And we all know that regular GPS, right, takes us to our destination. Our destination here is to be an open, intuitive channel. The universe reads you through your energy, through what you put out, right? The universe reads you that way. So if you have all this other gunk in your energy, the universe can't read as clearly what it is that you want. It's like trying to listen to you in the cafeteria of a junior high school, right? Like there's so much noise that you can't hear one person clearly. So we want to make sure that universe hears us loud and clear, right? So GPS, ground, protect, and shield. What is grounding? First, I want to talk about what are you protecting? What are we working with? We're talking about the energetic body, right? So some people are very familiar with the term aura, and that is an extension of your energetic body. Your energetic body extends beyond your physical body. It can extend a couple inches, it can extend a couple feet, it can extend, 30 feet out. However you want to extend your energy field is what you can do. So if this is your body, right, your physical body, your energy field comes all the way out and around it. It surrounds you. So when people project or have difficult situations, sadness, depression, anger, things like that, and even other happiness and kind of things, whatever this other energy is that you're coming in contact with, it is always connecting or hitting your energetic body before it hits your physical body. So for example, let's say that you are standing in line at the grocery store and I'm not sure if anybody writes checks anymore, but let's say the person up in the front of the line decides that they're going to write a personal check. And the person that's standing behind you in line just start spouting about it. They're just really get upset because they're already late for this and they can't believe that it's going to take this long and who uses checks anymore and blah, 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 and this and that, right? And you turn around and trying to be, right, the kind of calming, soothing, kind of being that you are striving to be. You're like, oh, I'm sure it'll only take, a minute or so extra. It'll be fine. And that person gets a little bit snarky with you, right? Gets a little bit like, They just kind of throw some energetic daggers at you. That's going to hit your energetic body, and you're going to react to that before it ever hits your physical ears. Whatever that person says to you already hits your energetic body before it hits your ears. So once you're able to and begin to react to it, it's already in your stuff, right? It's already in your field. You have it now. You have to carry that. And that sometimes elicits some different reactions, right? If you don't have your GPS set right. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it's protecting your energetic body. That is protecting all that surrounds you by putting a barrier so that you don't get instantly affected. It keeps it out. So let's go a little bit further. Hopefully that was an example that you could understand, right? So our energetic body is beyond us, no matter how big we want to make it. And that is your choice, how big you want to make your energetic body, whether you want to keep it very close, which some people do, or whether you want to expand it out 3 feet, 5 feet, 30 feet. Totally and completely up to you, and you can move it throughout. There was some experiments at one time that, or an experiment at one time, where there was a gentleman that had the ability to feel the energetic body, right? The aura, to feel, to sense the energetic body. And they would ask some people to go, okay, you know what, in your mind, visualize how big you want your energetic body to be, whether it's inches or whether it's 10 feet or 5 feet, anywhere between inches and 10 feet. And then that person would go across the other side of the room, and once that the person that was throwing their energy was set in their mind where, okay, I'm going to make it 5 feet, right? And they would nod, and that person would come walking towards them and would stop when that person thought that they had hit their energetic body, when they felt they had hit the energetic body. And he would walk and he would stop at 5 feet or 3 feet or whatever that person had projected it at. So that, to me, was amazing. It was really cool. It was really neat, but it was amazing to think that we have, we know and we recognize and realize that we have this aura, right? This energetic body that expands beyond us. But I didn't realize up until that point that I had such control over it. I knew I had control over the protection of it, but I didn't really step into the idea that I have the ability to expand it and contract it back to me at will. So that's a whole nother amazing thing, and a little bit of a sidestep. But so grounding, protecting, and shielding our GPS is protecting our energetic and spiritual self, okay? So grounding is taking the energy, excessive or lack of, and either releasing or filling with additional neutral or positive energy, okay? So the best way to do this is to barefoot on grass. Automatically there's a transfer there. Barefoot on grass, automatically there's a transfer. But if you don't have the ability to do that, or you want to do this every morning while you're brushing your teeth or whatever it is, you can visualize something that comes from the earth or that comes from you into the earth that holds you to Mother Earth. So you may decide that you want to have vines coming up and around your calf muscles. And the energy is able to transfer that way. You may decide that you want to have roots that come out of the bottom of your feet and go into the ground, or that you have roots that come out of your tailbone that go into the ground, all the way down into the center of earth. You may decide that you want to visualize that you have steel rods, right, that come out of the bottom of your feet and go into earth. It doesn't matter if you're in a high-rise building. It doesn't matter if, you are not near actual soil, because whatever you are standing on eventually hits soil. So that energy flow has a way to actually transmute and flow. And visualization actually brings about reality, right? So when we visualize that we have whatever we have going into the center of the earth, and that energy is flowing back and forth and renewing itself and either draining us of excessive energy that's no longer serving us, or it's filling us back up with good energy that we need to become balanced again. Either way, that's a grounding exercise. That is what brings us to a more balanced state where we don't feel so out of sorts. Being out of balance or ungrounded can mean several different things. It can give you nausea. It can give you a general ill feeling. It can give you insomnia. It can give you heebie-jeebies. And there's a lot of different ways that you can physically react to being ungrounded. So that's why I feel that it's very important to do on a daily basis. The next part is of our GPS is protect and shield. Protecting is protecting by releasing. Protecting our energetic being and our spiritual being by releasing what no longer serves us. So how do you do that? The quickest and the easiest way that I can suggest for you is to choose the element that you are very comfortable with, that you are very connected to, that you feel source from, whether that be air or wind, fire or earth, right? One of those four. So you will choose whatever. So say that you choose that it's wind, which is the one that I like to use. I oftentimes will visualize that there is a tornado, but a gentle one, but a tornado that follows around me, that encircles my entire energetic being, body, right? That just kind of picks up and swishes away all of the stuff that's no longer serving me. You can actually do that outdoors. Anytime where I'm outdoors and the wind picks up, I immediately go into that, it's blowing everything away, okay? So you can do that by fire, feeling that there's flames that are all around you, burning everything off, whatever you choose. It's just having that moment of visualization to be able to allow an element to release you or release things that no longer serve you from your energetic field. The next one, or the last one of GPS, is shielding. So this is one of the most important, because this is going to stop things from hitting your energetic body. It's going to put a bubble around you, or a little candy shell, right, around your soft center energetic body. I made you sound like a Skittle now. So if you are able to visualize however you want to choose that you have this hardness, this protection around your energetic body, and this protection is going to move along with however large or small your energetic body is at the time, right? Your aura is at the time. So I personally will use a net, like a cargo net. It's something that I've always used, that will come down like a trap over the top of me, right? And it allows what needs to come through to me to be able to come through to me, but it stops what is not needed for me in my path from hitting the energetic body. And that's what the shielding is. So whatever you want to decide it is, if it's a bubble, that's fine. If it's a hard candy coated shell, that's fine. If it's a net, that's fine. If it's a blanket, that's a whatever. If it's just pure light, that is fine. Whatever it is that you decide to do, know that this is there and in place to stop those things from hitting your energetic body, so that you don't have the reaction to them. And you're going to find when you start doing your GPS daily that you are not going to react to things the same way that you used to. And it may dumbfound you in the beginning. So an example is I was at checking into a place, and there was a person that got very upset because I had parked in a spot that they didn't think that I should be parked in. I was running and I had pre-registered to go in, so I only had to stop in this one part. They didn't know that. It was not their, it wasn't, anybody's fault or anything, but I parked in one spot that this person didn't realize that I should be parking in. And that person made it very well known to me that they were irate that I had parked in this spot. And I had already done my GPS, my shielding and everything, right, for the day. And so when I got out, I simply just looked at this person as they were spewing and thought, wow, she's really upset that I parked there. She doesn't have any clue that that's where I'm supposed to be, but she's just really upset about it. And so then after she was done talking and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she just kind of went, well, and I said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of what I should say to you. Because that's really what I was doing. Like I didn't have an initial reaction. I didn't want to back at her, right? I didn't want to argue. I didn't want to engage in that energy. It just was kind of, okay, so I told her, I said, well, you know what? I'm not sure why it's so upsetting to you where I parked, but just so you know, this is where I'm supposed to park because I'm already pre-registered. I'm going to be a whole 10 minutes, if that, in there and be on my way. So I went in, did my thing, came back out to my car and left and did the rest of my day. And the best thing about it was I didn't harbor any of that at all. Completely just, it was there and happened in the moment. And then I was able to go on without any recollection of it throughout the day. And in fact, like 3 days later, my husband was telling me a story about somebody that was very, kind of whacked out in a place where he had been. And I said, oh yeah, you know what I forgot to mention the other day that happened to me. This lady was, but in the past, before I had done my daily GPS, before I, plugged it in every day, I would have had a reaction to that. I would have not backed down. And I didn't back down. I just simply didn't feel the need to react to it. And I didn't feel the need to carry it with me. I didn't feel the need to stew over it. I didn't feel the need to share it with anyone. I didn't feel the need to even think about it anymore. It was just something that happened in that moment and moved past. Why? Because it didn't allow anything to hit my energetic body. I didn't carry any of it along with me in my own energy. So that's really huge because again, universe is trying to see or hear what you are sending out by your energy. And if it has to listen to everybody else's energy and filter through it to try and figure out what it is that you want, it's going to take even longer, right? So just keep everybody else's energy out and away from you. Now, by plugging in your GPS every day, you're grounding, protecting, and shielding. This in the beginning is something that will probably take a little bit of time to go, okay, step 1, I'm grounding. Okay, step 2, right? It may take you a little bit of time, but I promise you, as you do it more and more, you're going to move from that very conscious, okay, it's going to take me 5 minutes to do this, 5 minutes to do that, 5 minutes to do that. And pretty soon it's going to be something that you decide, oh, well, while I'm brushing my teeth, I'm going to ground, protect, and shield myself while I'm doing it right here. So it's going to take you 2 minutes. Then you're going to get to a point where literally it's become so ingrained in you and it's become so second nature to you that you are simply going to be able to close your eyes for a moment, ground, protect, shield, and boom, it's all done. I promise you that it will get that easy for you. But you have to, in the beginning, remember to continuously do that, because even though it's going to protect you from picking up, it's really essential for those people that have empathic abilities as well. But even though it's going to stop the stuff that is not supposed to get into your energetic field, there are some things that you're supposed to get hit with in your energetic field. And you will still get those regardless of whether or not you have your shielding up, because that is part of your path. That is part of something that you need to experience to be able to grow. So there are still things that are going to be happening where you go, well, I did my GPS twice today and I still got slammed with this. What happened? Well, that means that whatever you're going through or whatever happened was put there in place because you were meant to experience it. But all the rest of it, there's no need to be carrying all this extra gunk around with you. You're going to find that people stop coming to you to complain when you have your GPS system working properly, because like attracts like, right? Complainers don't want to come to you when you're not carrying that energy. They want to go to other complainers, right? So they can fester with each other. So making sure that you have your energetic and spiritual protection by plugging in your GPS every day. Core practice that you need to be doing. I can't emphasize that enough. This is an intention based, right? It's all about intent. Intention is everything when it comes to using your intuition. So your intent to make sure that you remain clear and open and that your energy and your spiritual self is protected is your intuitive right.